Welcome to my views and news. Another video for you. Firstly, angry Tigrayans confronted an Ethiopian minister today. The incident happened in the US. We have some clips for you. This is not the first time that Ethiopian ministers faced anger of Tigrayans abroad. Secondly, a viewer shared some pictures with me. He said, Sajid, these pictures are worth a new story. And he claimed that Tigray fighters were wearing some particular type of chains to protect them from being injured. I have the pictures for you and my view about these chains. And lastly, viewers, once again in Sweden on Saturday, pro government and opposition Eritreans clashed. Dozens were arrested and some were severely beaten by police. We have details and some clips for you. Firstly, viewers, Tigrayan diaspora is angry. Ethiopian ministers have been facing the anger of Tigrayan diaspora community members in the past as well. We saw Ridwan Hussein a few months ago confronted by a Tigrayan lady, and now Ethiopian minister was confronted by angry Tigrayans a few hours ago. The incident happened in the US, in New York, where UN General Assembly session is being held, and heads of states and top officials from across the world are arriving. From Ethiopia, Minister of Health Leah Tadesse is due to attend this session. Demake Mekonnen is also reportedly expected to attend this session, though we have not seen him so far in New York. Leah Tadesse has arrived in the US, and at the airport, when she arrived, angry Tigrayans protested against her. They said, you have Tigrayans' blood on your hands, you are member of a genocidal government. So Tigrayans are angry, they'll express their anger, and we could see some demonstrations as well outside the venue where UN General Assembly session is going to be held. Watch the clip showing angry Tigrayans confronting Leah Tadesse, Ethiopian Minister of Health.
My people's blood is on your hands.
Ethiopia is guilty of genocide. Ethiopia is guilty of genocide. Ethiopia is guilty of genocide. Ethiopia is guilty of genocide.
Secondly, viewers, a viewer contacted me. He said, Sajid, you are missing a very important aspect when it comes to analyzing this conflict. You spoke about military capabilities of TDF, of Eritrean forces, but you don't know the real secret behind TDF's success. TDF fighters cannot be harmed, they cannot be shot because they are protected. He shared some pictures with me, and he said, Sajid, TDF fighters are wearing some particular type of chains, voodoo necklaces. The voodoo necklace, according to the viewer, protects the person who is wearing them from being harmed, from being injured. And he said that several TDF fighters who have been captured by Ethiopian government soldiers, they have been seen with this voodoo necklace. You can see some pictures on your screen. The pictures show those TDF fighters who have been taken prisoner, who are in the custody of Ethiopian government forces, and they can be seen with this voodoo necklace. I don't believe in superstitions, Firstly. Secondly, if voodoo necklace can protect TDF fighters from being harmed, why can't it protect them from being captured? They are being captured. They are now prisoners of war. So voodoo necklace only protects from being injured. That is what the viewer said. And I think there is no voodoo necklace which protects from being killed as well, because TDF fighters are being killed too. Fighters, soldiers from all sides are losing their lives. No voodoo necklace can protect anyone. These are personal beliefs held by some people, and sometimes some institutions misguide people. So no one should be misguided. These are all superstitions. Those who fight, they die as well. They are injured too. Solution does not lie in wearing voodoo necklaces or in launching propaganda against each other. Solution lies in negotiations, in talks. He wanted me to speak. That is why I spoke on this voodoo necklace worn by Tigray fighters. Lastly, viewers, Eritreans are now openly confronting each other, fighting each other in Europe. We are seeing unpleasant scenes, and government forces are using excessive force against these protests, these clashes, though against those who are involved in the clashes in Europe. We know that for the last 2 months, Eritrean opposition groups have been trying to stop all festivals being organized by Eritrean government in Europe. It started from Sweden, then we saw that in the Netherlands, festival was stopped through a court order, then in Germany as well, in Switzerland too, and there were clashes as well in some places in Belgium, I think. Opposition groups seem to have decided that they will not let any festival, any program to be organized by the government, by Eritrean government, by Eritrean embassies abroad. And they are using force. They are attacking venues as well. So it is leading to direct confrontation. We have seen clashes in front of Eritrean embassy in London. We have seen clashes in Gießen, Germany. And yesterday there were clashes, you can say to some extent, between pro-government Eritrean diaspora members and opposition groups in Stockholm, Sweden. In Husby, Stockholm, there was an event being organized by Eritrean pro-government groups. The program was about the commemoration of start of independence struggle, armed independence struggle, which was launched in 1961. In September 1961, Eritreans launched military struggle, armed struggle for independence. And then it took 30 years for them to gain independence. So that is why in September, programs are organized to commemorate the start of armed struggle for independence. One such program was underway in Husby, Stockholm, Sweden, when opposition groups tried to stop the program. There was deployment of pro-government volunteers outside the venue. There was deployment of large number of security officials too. The security officials used excessive force against opposition diaspora groups. They were beaten, they were thrashed, they were arrested. Dozens were arrested yesterday, and several are still in prison. When opposition groups attacked a venue in Gießen, Germany, if you remember, I condemned it. I said that violence should not be a means of achieving anything. Violence leads to violence because now opposition groups are trying to stop government organized festivals by force, and government backed diaspora members are prepared as well. They were fully prepared yesterday in Stockholm, Sweden. But police prevented direct clash between opposition and pro-government groups. And police is using excessive force. Why? Because now it has become a very common occurrence that after a few days these Eritreans fight somewhere in Europe. I would say that Eritreans should not resort to violence. Yes, you can oppose the festival, the programs organized by pro-Eritrean government groups, but you cannot storm the venues. It will lead to problems for these opposition groups based in Europe. We have two clips for you. First one shows Eritrean pro-government groups celebrating in Stockholm, Sweden, and second clip shows security officials outside the venue using excessive force against opposition Eritrean protesters. I think for watching.